Hey everybody, we made it. We're over 100% at chaostheorycomic.com, raising the money for my very first comic book, Chaos Theory Zombies vs. Dinosaurs. I thought now would be as good a time as any to give you guys an update on what's going on with the project, what you guys can expect, answer some of your questions. I briefly thought about doing a more traditional video today, talking about I don't know, why opposites attract and it's better for storytelling in comics and movies and TV. And that's why I think Jean Grey's better off with Wolverine and Cyclops is better off with Emma Frost, something like that. But you know what? Right now I'm so consumed with making this comic and making it the best possible story I can that I just don't have the brain space to think about something like that. And besides, we made 100%. The comic is happening. It is official. Now you might be thinking, great, I don't need to donate now, or I don't need to tell my friends about donating because it's made 100%. But that is absolutely not the case. While we've reached our initial funding goal, that does not mean that we don't need your contribution, that we don't need you to get the word out, because the more money we're able to raise for the project, I'm able to add new rewards to each perk tier. I'm able to do a better print run for the comic, so the comic you get is of a higher quality, which is something I really, really want to do. The initial funding goal makes sure the comic happens. The more money raised will allow it to happen the way I want it to happen. I want to give you guys a better quality print of the comic so you can feel really proud of what you have and what you contributed to and what you helped make happen. So if you haven't contributed yet, please do. Your contribution will help go to a better comic. And if you already have contributed, please get the word out so we can raise more money and give you a better quality product. Now, with all that in mind, I think it's a great time to announce our first stretch goal. Our initial funding goal was $12,000. But if we make it to $14,000, I will put in all perks, $25 and up, an exclusive postcard that has a map of the island with some exclusive hints at possible sequels for the comic, and on the back, a letter written in-universe by one of the characters that holds important information about the backstory that's not in the comic. So not only will you get hints about the future for possible sequels that I'm now able to think about now that this crowdfunding campaign's so successful, but also important pieces of backstory that you wouldn't otherwise get. So if we make it to $14,000, that will be coming your way if you contribute to one of the $25 or above perk tiers. Now I gotta say, I really hope we're able to make it because I would love to share this with you guys. It holds important pieces of information that I think you're really gonna dig. I have more stretch goal plans down the road that you will hear more about if we make the $14,000. I also wanted to take a second, since we're doing something a little bit different here, to show you one of the things you will get if you contribute to one of the perks, specifically the $100 perk or above. You will get one of these amazing comics from my friends over at Art of Fiction. Not only will you get a copy of Chaos Theory signed by me, but you'll get this amazing 5-color comics. Honestly, it's something that inspired me to make my own comic. This is from the guys that run the comic shop House of Secrets, and they've made several of their own comics, and this is one of them. And it has incredible art in it, incredible artists. Take a look at that. There's Bruce Timm in here. There's Eduardo Riso. There's just a ton of amazing, amazing stuff in here, and I'm so excited that they let me share this with you guys. So if you give to the $100 Cretaceous perk or above, you will be getting this comic signed by the writers and a copy of Dames of the Atomic Age. And it's just a ton of beautiful art, some amazing stories, fun, pulpy adventures that helped inspire me to make Chaos Theory in the first place. Speaking of the perks, I'd like to take a second to thank Bree Essrig, Maud Garrett, Whitney Moore, and William Haynes for writing Valentines for you guys. Yesterday I announced our special Valentine perk where you would get a Valentine personally written for you from one of those amazing people. And most of them are sold out. The only ones left are William Haynes and myself. So if you want a personal Valentine from us, those perks still exist. You can grab Date of the Dead Will or Date of the Dead DJ for one of those. But I just wanted to thank them for helping me out with this project and writing Valentines for you guys. Happy belated Valentine's Day. Lastly, but certainly not least, I wanted to answer some of your questions that you guys sent me. I put out a tweet on Twitter asking for your thoughts on my comic and any questions you might have. And honestly, I would like to answer more of these. In fact, I kind of want to do a video that's kind of a whole Q&A. So if there's a way you want me to do that or any questions you have, please tweet me at DJ Talks Trash or leave a comment in this video and I will do my best to answer those questions for you so you know as much as you can about my comic, as much as I'm willing to share. First up, we have James at James Stark Plays. How satisfied will we be with the self-contained end? Any lingering questions we might have at the end? I tried to make it as self-contained as possible. You should have the whole complete story that you need here. There's definitely room to expand. In fact, the last page has a tease for a potential sequel should the comic continue to be as successful as it has been, but it doesn't need to happen. We don't need that sequel for the story to be complete. It's just a fun what if it kept going? What if it got even crazier? But this is a whole complete story story that if I've done my job, you should feel satisfied by the time you've reached the end. Victor Rebella at Sergeant Sparty asks, what format would the digital book be in? Is Comixology Guided View way too much to hope for? It may be too much to hope for. I'm still kind of figuring out the best possible way to get the digital copy to you guys. It might just be a classic PDF that you get to own, or it might be a Comixology Guided View. That's kind of a stretch, but I'm looking into it. I'm trying to make it happen for you guys. I obviously want to give you the best experience possible, digitally or in print. Isabella at Decapod Overlord asks, do you have plans for a next comic that's not related to this one? I know others have already asked about continuing this one. Yes. Yes, I do. It kind of depends on how well this comic does. It kind of depends on the artists I can get attached to certain projects. You know, different stories require different artists, but I have a ton of comic book ideas, short film ideas, movie ideas that I'd like to pursue. And fortunately, you guys have been so receptive to this. It emboldens me to try new, crazier things. Shajir D at Shajir D asks, were any of the characters inspired by real people? Not that I know of, at least. Not, I mean, maybe somebody buried deep in my past that I don't really recall, but the characters for this were just kind of generated from the story and the type of characters I'd like to see in a story like this. I've always wanted to see a badass pregnant woman with a giant gun, and I thought it would be great to have a traditional mad scientist role like Dr. Zarkov from Flash Gordon, and so I kind of merged those two characters to become Percy. For all my characters, I didn't just want your traditional leads. I wanted them to be incredibly smart, but represent different types of intelligence. So Max is a gearhead. He knows machines really well. Where Zord is studying as an ethologist and knows and understands animals, and together they make a kind of perfect team. Owen Multiverse at Owen_Warren, and I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, let me know in the comments down below. If this comic gets big, do you plan to continue the story with these characters or expand to different story/settings? This actually informs questions that we got earlier. I do have ways to expand this story from here. When I initially conceived it, I saw it as just this one-shot, but as I played around with the idea, I actually had a ton of ways to expand the world, to develop the characters, to kind of say something about something, which I think is the most important reason to tell a story. So if this continues to be successful, and people really do respond to it and want more, I have more story to tell, and I think you guys would really dig it. I will say this is the craziest concept I could think of at the time, but as I've worked on it, I've come up with ever-escalating crazier concepts, so it gets bolder from here. So again, get the word out, keep contributing. The better this campaign does, the more chances I will have to continue this story if you would like to see more. We've got some amazing perks like the Art of Fiction books I was just showing you. We've got still one more chance to get drawn in the comic as a zombie. There's still 16 days to go. We're only halfway through this campaign. Let's see how amazing we can make this comic in another 16 days. Stay tuned to this channel. Stay tuned to my Twitter at DJ Talks Trash. I'll also be sending out updates through the Indiegogo website. Thank you all for all of your support. There's so much more to come. There's so many more things I can't wait to share with you. And you all are amazing. I hope you have a great week. I will see you then. Take care.